Imagine getting a mysterious envelope from your husband after months of the same old routine. One that says, "Trust me, you'll love this." Would you open it? Would you go? Emily sat at the kitchen table, her fingers tapping nervously against the smooth wood. An envelope sat in front of her, crisp and unexpected. She hadn't seen anything like it in months. Usually, bills, reminders, or junk mail appeared without ceremony. But this envelope was different. It was from her husband, Ryan, and the neat handwriting on the front made her heart skip a little. "Trust me, you'll love this." The note read inside, and Emily blinked, unsure what to make of it. Ryan had always been the adventurous one, the one who pulled her out of her comfort zone for small adventures. But it had been so long since they'd done something new together. Life had settled into a routine, predictable and safe. Yet part of Emily feared it had also grown dull. She remembered when they first met. Ryan's energy had drawn her in like a magnet, his laughter, his boldness. The way he always seemed to know how to make her smile, it had all been irresistible. But years of work, bills, and daily life had dimmed that spark, at least in the way she could see it. Now, sitting in their quiet kitchen, Emily wondered if it still existed, if it could be reignited. She stared at the note again, feeling a mix of curiosity and hesitation. Ryan appeared in the doorway, leaning casually against the frame, his smile easy and confident. "So, are you coming tonight?" he asked, his voice light but carrying a quiet excitement. Emily looked up at him, her heart fluttering. I guess I'll try," she said slowly. She didn't know why she felt nervous. It wasn't like she disliked social events, but stepping into something unknown always brought a rush of doubt. Ryan's eyes sparkled with encouragement. And just like that, the nervousness seemed to shift slightly toward anticipation. He reached for her hand, the familiar warmth grounding her. "You don't need to worry," he said softly. "I'll be with you the whole time." Emily nodded, feeling a small surge of courage. They had spent years building trust, sharing dreams, and facing challenges together. If anyone could make her feel safe in the unknown, it was Ryan. The drive to the venue was quiet at first, the hum of the tires on the road filling the space between them. Emily stared out the window at the city lights, her mind racing. She thought about what the evening might hold: new people, laughter, maybe even a little adventure. She realized she hadn't felt this alive in months. Life had been predictable, and she had almost forgotten the thrill of stepping into something uncertain with someone you love. Ryan's hand on hers reminded her that tonight wasn't just about a party. It was about rediscovering them, about reigniting a connection that had quietly been waiting. As they arrived, the soft glow of the venue welcomed them. Warm lights spilled onto the street, laughter spilling out from inside. Emily felt a jolt of excitement mixed with nervousness. Parties had never been her favorite, especially when she didn't know anyone. But Ryan's presence made the space feel less intimidating. He leaned closer and whispered, "You're gonna love this." Emily smiled faintly, feeling the tension in her chest ease just a little. Inside, the atmosphere was lively but not overwhelming. Soft music played in the background, creating a rhythm that matched her heartbeat. People moved through the space in small groups, chatting and laughing. The scent of fresh flowers and warm drinks filled the air. Emily held Ryan's hand tightly as they stepped further inside, letting him guide her through the crowd. She felt a strange mix of anxiety and exhilaration. Everything was new, yet she felt strangely safe. "See that corner over there?" Ryan asked, nodding toward a group of familiar faces. "Some of my friends are here. They're excited to meet you." Emily's stomach twisted with a mix of anticipation and fear. Meeting new people always left her uncertain, but Ryan's hand in hers reminded her that she wasn't alone. She could do this. They approached the group, and Emily was met with warm smiles and friendly greetings. Her nerves began to melt, replaced with a quiet curiosity. As the evening unfolded, Ryan's excitement was contagious. He introduced her to people with gentle humor, weaving stories and inside jokes that made Emily laugh unexpectedly. She realized she hadn't laughed like this in months. Not the kind of laughter that comes from feeling truly at ease with someone. The kind that makes your cheeks ache and your heart feel lighter. Every interaction, every shared smile reminded her of the joy that had always been part of their love story. A soft buzz of energy pulsed through the room. Emily noticed couples leaning close, friends exchanging secrets, and laughter spilling from every corner. She felt a strange longing, a reminder of how easy it had been to feel connected in the past. And then she looked at Ryan. He was watching her with that quiet, intense gaze, the one that always made her feel seen. Her heart fluttered again. A subtle reminder that connection wasn't lost, had just been waiting for a spark. Ryan leaned close and whispered, "Do you trust me?" Emily nodded, though her pulse quickened. It wasn't just about trust, she thought. It was about trusting herself, trusting that she could let go and enjoy the night without overthinking every moment. He smiled, his eyes lighting up with relief and excitement. In that simple glance, Emily felt a warmth spread through her chest, a quiet reassurance that they were rediscovering something important together. They moved through the room, occasionally pausing to chat, to laugh, to simply hold hands. Emily felt herself relaxing, feeling the weight of routine and worry lift with each passing moment. Ryan's presence made the unfamiliar familiar. She realized that the night wasn't about the party itself. It was about them, about rediscovering the magic of shared experiences, about stepping outside the ordinary and remembering that life still held surprises. As the first hour passed, Emily found herself smiling more freely than she had in months. The nervousness that had gripped her earlier faded, replaced by curiosity and anticipation. She was beginning to enjoy herself, not because the party was extraordinary, but because Ryan had reminded her how to experience joy, how to feel alive in the presence of someone who truly cared. And then Ryan's hand squeezed hers gently, pulling her closer. Ready for the next part? He asked, a hint of playful mischief in his voice. Emily raised an eyebrow, intrigued. Next part? She asked, her curiosity piqued. He just smiled, the kind of smile that hinted at surprises and laughter yet to come. Emily felt her heartbeat quicken. She had no idea what awaited, but with Ryan by her side, she knew the night would be unforgettable. With a deep breath and a racing heart, Emily let herself be guided forward, stepping fully into the evening and into a world of possibilities she hadn't realized she'd been missing. The night was just beginning, and already she felt alive again. The moment Emily stepped further into the party, she felt a rush of energy unlike anything she had experienced in months. The room was alive with conversation, laughter, and music that seemed to wrap around her like a warm blanket. Soft lights flickered across the walls, casting gentle shadows that danced in rhythm with the quiet beats of a live band. She clutched Ryan's hand, realizing how much comfort she drew from his presence. Even in the middle of a room full of strangers, just holding his hand made everything feel safe. Ryan grinned. Relax, he whispered, leaning close. Just enjoy it. Tonight is about us and about fun. Emily nodded, feeling a shiver of excitement. She had almost forgotten what it felt like to truly let go, to step into the unknown without fear. The party wasn't just a social event. It was a chance to rediscover a part of herself that had been buried under years of routine. They moved through the crowd, exchanging polite greetings with Ryan's friends and acquaintances. Emily felt her nerves softening with each interaction. People laughed, shared stories, and sometimes even pulled her into conversations she hadn't expected to join. Every new introduction, every shared smile felt like a thread connecting her back to the world outside her comfort zone. She realized she hadn't felt this alive in a long time, and it was thrilling. Ryan led her to a small lounge area where a group of couples was playing a light-hearted game that encouraged sharing small secrets and funny memories. Emily hesitated for a moment, unsure if she wanted to participate. She had never been one to put herself in the spotlight, even in a friendly setting, but Ryan's hand squeezed hers gently, reassuringly. "You can do this," he said. "I'll be right here." That simple encouragement was all she needed. As they joined the group, the host explained the rules. Each couple would take turns answering questions, revealing little-known facts about themselves. The questions weren't invasive, just prompts to spark laughter and connection. Emily felt her heart race. Sharing something personal, even small, made her anxious, but she noticed Ryan's eyes on her, soft and encouraging. And suddenly, it didn't feel scary at all. It felt like an adventure they were taking together. Their turn came quickly. The question was simple. What's a silly habit your partner has that makes you laugh? Emily looked at Ryan, a smile tugging at her lips. Without thinking, she said he sings to the plants every morning like they're his audience. The group laughed warmly and Ryan shook his head, pretending to be offended. But his grin betrayed him. "Guilty as charged," he said, winking at her. Emily laughed too, feeling a warmth spread through her chest. Moments like this reminded her of the joy in small shared memories, of the playful side of love that sometimes gets lost in day-to-day life. As the game continued, Emily felt herself opening up more. Each question, each prompt seemed to peel back the layers of self-consciousness she had carried for months. Ryan was her anchor, his presence a steady reassurance that she could relax and be herself. She found herself laughing freely, teasing him in return, and enjoying the gentle teasing of the other couples. The night was weaving a tapestry of joy, connection, and subtle intimacy that made her heart feel lighter than it had in ages. Between rounds of the game, Ryan guided her toward the small dance floor in the corner. A slow song had started, and he held out his hand. "May I have this dance?" he asked with a playful bow. Emily hesitated for only a second before allowing him to lead her. As they moved together, swaying gently to the music, she felt a surge of nostalgia mixed with excitement. Dancing with him like this reminded her of the early days of their relationship, when every touch, every glance, every whispered word carried the thrill of new love. The music wrapped around them, and for a moment, the world outside the party disappeared. Emily's laughter mixed with the soft rhythm, and Ryan's hand never left hers. She felt a thrill at how effortlessly they fit together, like two puzzle pieces finding their place again. The party around them blurred into background noise, leaving only the quiet intensity of shared moments. Every laugh, every playful glance seemed to rebuild a connection that had quietly slipped into routine over the years. After the dance, they returned to the group. A few couples had moved on to other games, but Emily noticed the smiles and laughter lingering in the air. People were sharing more than just facts. They were sharing parts of themselves. Emily realized how much she had missed this kind of openness, this sense of being fully present in a moment that wasn't weighed down by schedules or responsibilities. She felt a sense of liberation she hadn't expected to find at a party. Ryan leaned close and whispered, "See, I knew you'd love it." Emily smiled, feeling a mix of amusement and gratitude. It wasn't the games, the music, or even the dancing that mattered most. It was him. His ability to draw her out of herself, to gently push her boundaries while always keeping her safe, reminded her why she had fallen in love with him in the first place. She felt a quiet thrill in knowing they were rediscovering the magic in their relationship, one small moment at a time. The night continued, flowing seamlessly from laughter to conversation to gentle touches shared in quiet corners. Emily found herself genuinely enjoying every part of it. She talked with Ryan's friends, shared small secrets, and even contributed to playful debates about music and movies. Each interaction reinforced a feeling she hadn't realized she craved, the feeling of being fully alive, fully seen, and fully connected not just to her husband, but to the world around her. As the hours passed, the energy in the room shifted to a more relaxed, intimate pace. The soft music continued and the conversations grew warmer and more personal. Emily noticed Ryan watching her often, his gaze soft and full of admiration. It made her heart flutter in a way she hadn't felt in months. She realized that this night, simple as it seemed, was becoming something extraordinary. It wasn't about extravagance or spectacle. It was about shared moments, about connection, about love that quietly strengthened through laughter, touch, and understanding. Finally, Ryan pulled her aside near the balcony where the city lights glittered like tiny stars in the night. "I wanted tonight to remind you of something," he said softly, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "I wanted us to remember that we're still us, even after all these years." Emily felt tears prick at the corners of her eyes. But they weren't tears of sadness. They were tears of relief, joy, and love. She nodded, unable to speak for a moment, feeling the weight of his words sink deep into her heart. "Thank you," she finally whispered, "for everything, this, me, us. I needed this more than I realized." Ryan smiled, pressing a gentle kiss to her temple. "I just wanted you to see what I see," he said. "That we can still have fun, still laugh, still be in love, no matter how busy life gets." Emily rested her head on his shoulder, feeling the pulse of the city below, the soft rhythm of life around them, and the quiet certainty that tonight was the start of something renewed. She felt a thrill of anticipation for the rest of the evening, for the surprises and laughter still to come, and for the quiet moments of connection she would treasure long after the party ended. With Ryan's hand in hers, she felt ready for anything. The night was far from over, and Emily knew it. But one thing was certain: stepping into the unknown with him had already changed her. And as they looked out over the twinkling lights, she realized that sometimes love wasn't about grand gestures. It was about small moments, shared smiles, and the courage to trust someone with your heart again. Emily felt a warmth in her chest as the night deepened. The initial nerves had faded completely, replaced by a lightness she hadn't felt in months. The party had transformed from something intimidating into an adventure, a night full of laughter, surprises, and quiet moments that made her heart race. Every glance Ryan gave her, every gentle touch reminded her how strong their connection still was. She realized how much she had missed this feeling, the thrill of being fully present with the one you love, free from worry and routine. Ryan led her toward a quieter corner of the room where a few other couples were engaged in a game that involved sharing memories and personal stories. Emily hesitated at first, unsure if she wanted to reveal much about herself. But Ryan's hand on hers was grounding. "Just go with it," he whispered. "You'll see. It's fun." She nodded, trusting him. His confidence always made her feel braver than she thought she could be. As they joined the game, Emily felt herself opening up in ways she hadn't expected. The questions were light-hearted, often silly, but they carried an intimacy that made her smile. One question asked about their favorite childhood memory together. Emily laughed softly, recalling a small embarrassing moment from a family trip. Ryan listened with rapt attention, his eyes filled with warmth and amusement. And when he teased her gently afterward, she felt a spark of affection she hadn't realized she had missed. It wasn't about impressing anyone. It was about sharing moments that mattered, little windows into the heart. After the game, the music shifted. A slower song floated through the room. Ryan extended his hand toward Emily. "Dance with me," he asked, his voice low but playful. She hesitated for only a moment before allowing herself to be guided onto the small dance floor. As they swayed together, the world around them seemed to fade. She felt a shiver of nostalgia. Memories of the early days of their romance came rushing back, of nights spent laughing and talking until dawn, of the quiet joy of being fully known by someone who loved her completely. The dance was gentle, almost dreamlike. Emily rested her head against Ryan's shoulder, feeling his warmth and steady heartbeat. She realized she had almost forgotten what it felt like to be this close, this connected, without distraction or worry. The night had a rhythm of its own, one that pulled them along effortlessly. Each laugh, each whispered word, each gentle touch seemed to weave them closer together, rebuilding a sense of intimacy that had been quietly slipping away under the weight of everyday life. After the dance, they drifted back into the crowd, but Emily noticed a shift in herself. She was no longer the hesitant, self-conscious woman who had entered the room. She felt alive, confident in the simple joy of being with Ryan, of sharing these moments openly. People smiled at them, commenting on how natural they seemed together, and Emily realized she didn't mind the attention. She liked the way they looked as a pair, happy and connected, and it made her heart swell. The evening continued with laughter and playful teasing. Ryan encouraged Emily to try small challenges at the party, a quick trivia game, a silly dance contest, even a brief round of charades. Each time she hesitated, he was there holding her hand, guiding her gently, reminding her it was okay to step outside her comfort zone. And every time she found herself smiling more, laughing more freely, feeling a thrill, and being bold in ways she hadn't allowed herself for months. The night was no longer just about the party. It was about rediscovering herself through him, through their shared joy. At one point, they sat together on a bench near the side, taking a brief break from the noise. Emily leaned against Ryan, feeling the quiet strength in his presence. "I can't believe how much fun this is," she said softly. "I was nervous at first, but now it's like a different world." Ryan smiled, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "I told you," he said. "Sometimes we just need a little push to remember how amazing life can be." Emily felt a tear slip down her cheek, not from sadness, but from the overwhelming rush of emotion, the relief, the love, the joy of feeling alive again. The rest of the night flowed seamlessly. Emily and Ryan moved from one activity to another, each moment reinforcing the connection between them. People around them laughed and cheered, but Emily realized she barely noticed anyone else. Her focus was entirely on Ryan, the way his eyes sparkled when he laughed, on the gentle squeeze of his hand, on the quiet comfort of being with someone who truly understood her. It was a reminder that love wasn't just about grand gestures. It was about these moments of presence, of connection by being completely attuned to each other. Later, the music shifted again, a more upbeat tune filling the room. Ryan tugged her toward the small dance area once more, grinning. "One more?" he asked. Emily laughed, feeling a burst of energy. Together, they moved in time with the rhythm, letting go of any lingering hesitation. She felt the sheer joy of the moment, of laughing freely, of dancing without caring who was watching. Around them, other couples danced, but Emily felt as if the room had shrunk to just the two of them. Every step, every spin, every laugh was a reminder of the bond they shared, of the spark that had never really faded. As the night wore on, Emily noticed a quiet intimacy building between them. They exchanged glances that spoke volumes, bold touches that lingered longer than necessary, whispered jokes that only they understood. The party wasn't about impressing anyone. It was about being fully present, fully alive, and fully connected. And in that moment, Emily realized how much she had missed this, the feeling of being truly known, truly cherished, and truly loved. Eventually, they returned to a quieter corner where Emily rested against Ryan once more. The party continued around them, but she felt a bubble of warmth surrounding the two of them. Ryan's hand found hers, fingers intertwining, and she squeezed back, feeling the gentle pulse of his love. "I'm glad we did this," she whispered. "I feel happy again, like really happy." Ryan smiled, brushing her cheek softly. "That's all I wanted," he said. "For us to remember who we are together and to enjoy every moment." Emily let herself lean into him fully, feeling safe and exhilarated at the same time. The night had been full of surprises, laughter, and moments of unexpected joy. She realized that sometimes the best experiences weren't planned. They were shared, spontaneous, and lived fully in the presence of someone who cared. Tonight wasn't just about a party. It was about rediscovering love, about letting go of fear, and about embracing the joy of being together. As the evening neared its close, Emily felt a sense of anticipation for the final moments of the night. She knew there were more surprises ahead, more laughter to share, and more quiet, tender moments that would stay with her long after the party ended. She looked at Ryan, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and love. The night had reminded her that life, when shared with the right person, could be full of magic, laughter, and endless possibilities. Ryan leaned close and whispered, "The night isn't over yet." Emily's heart skipped a beat. She knew he had something planned, some small adventure or playful moment waiting just for them. And in that instant, she realized she was ready for it, ready to continue laughing, dancing, sharing secrets, and simply being with him. Tonight wasn't just a party, it was a journey back to each other, and she was eager to see where it would take them next. Emily took a deep breath, feeling alive, loved, and full of anticipation. The party had become more than she ever expected. It was a reminder of the power of connection, of the thrill of stepping outside comfort zones, and of the quiet beauty of shared moments. And as Ryan's hand squeezed hers gently, she knew one thing for certain: the night had already changed them, and the best was yet to come. The night had slowly begun to wind down, but Emily didn't feel tired. Instead, she felt a quiet, glowing energy inside her chest, a mix of joy, love, and anticipation. The party lights had dimmed slightly. The music softened, and the laughter around them was now gentle, low, and warm. Emily held Ryan's hand as they moved toward the balcony. The soft hum of the city below stretched out like a sea of tiny twinkling lights. The view was breathtaking, and she couldn't help but pause, letting the moment wash over her. Ryan stood close behind her, wrapping a protective arm around her waist. "Look at this," he said softly, nodding toward the cityscape. Emily turned her head slightly, smiling. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "But it feels even more beautiful with you." Ryan chuckled, the sound warm and familiar, like a song she had forgotten but remembered the melody to instantly. He kissed the top of her head gently, and in that simple touch, Emily felt every worry, every small fear of the past months melt away. They leaned against the railing together, talking quietly, sharing thoughts they hadn't spoken in years. Emily told Ryan how surprised she was by how much she had enjoyed herself, how small moments, dancing, laughing, sharing memories, had reminded her of the connection they had almost forgotten. Ryan listened intently, his hand brushing hers every so often. "I've always loved watching you laugh," he said, his voice gentle but full of emotion. "Even when life gets busy, even when we get caught up in routines, that's the part of you I want to see every day." Emily felt her heart swell. It wasn't just the words. It was the way he said them, the quiet sincerity in his eyes, that made her feel truly seen. As they stepped back inside, the party had quieted down even more. People were saying their goodbyes, exchanging hugs, and the energy had shifted to something soft and lingering, like the calm after a storm. Emily noticed how effortless it felt to be with Ryan, how natural it was to smile at him, laugh with him, and simply enjoy being close. The night hadn't just been about the games, the music, or the dancing. It had been about rediscovering each other, about letting go of small fears and remembering why their love had always been so strong. Ryan led Emily toward a quieter corner, a spot where they could sit without interruption. They sank into the soft couches, letting the hum of the party fade into background noise. Emily rested her head on Ryan's shoulder, feeling the steady warmth of his body and the comforting rhythm of his heartbeat. "I feel like we haven't done this in forever," she said softly. "Just been together, talking and laughing without worrying about anything else." Ryan nodded, brushing her hair back gently. "That's exactly why I brought you here tonight," he said. "I wanted us to remember us, the fun, the laughter, the connection. Not just the daily routine, but this." Emily smiled, feeling a tear prick at the corner of her eye. She had been so wrapped up in the responsibilities of life, in work and chores and schedules, that she hadn't realized how much she missed the simple magic of being with Ryan, fully present and fully herself. Tonight had reminded her that love wasn't just in the big gestures. It was in the small moments, the shared smiles, the quiet understanding, and the willingness to step into new experiences together. The music shifted one last time, a soft romantic melody floating through the room. Ryan extended his hand toward Emily with a playful grin. "One more dance?" he asked. Emily laughed, feeling a rush of excitement and affection. She allowed him to pull her to the small dance floor once again. They moved slowly, swaying to the music, bodies close but comfortable, hearts in sync. Emily felt a deep sense of peace and joy, realizing that these simple moments of togetherness were more meaningful than anything else. As they danced, Emily looked into Ryan's eyes and saw a reflection of everything she felt: love, gratitude, and the thrill of being rediscovered. She realized that the night hadn't just been fun. It had been transformative. It had reminded her that they were more than just a couple going through routine life. They were partners, best friends, lovers, and adventurers in their own quiet way. The spark between them, which had dimmed over time, had been reignited, not by grand gestures, but by trust, courage, and the willingness to step outside comfort zones together. After the song ended, they returned to their quiet corner, sitting close once more. Emily rested her head against Ryan's chest, listening to the soft hum of the party fading completely. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "For tonight, for everything. I feel happy again, like really happy." Ryan smiled, pressing his lips gently to her forehead. "I just wanted us to remember what we have," he said, "and that we can always find joy, even in small moments. We just have to let ourselves." Emily felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. It wasn't about the party or the games or the dancing. It was about being seen, cherished, and loved for who she truly was. As the party ended and people began to leave, Ryan guided Emily toward the door. The night air was cool, crisp, and refreshing, carrying the faint scent of flowers and city streets. Emily felt a deep sense of contentment as they walked hand in hand, the quiet hum of the city surrounding them. "I never realized how much I needed this," she said softly. "I think I forgot what it feels like to be completely happy just with you." Ryan tightened his grip gently. "We often forget," he said. "Life gets busy and we lose sight of what matters. But nights like this remind us, and I wanted us to have this reminder." Emily smiled, feeling a renewed sense of closeness. She realized that the night had done more than entertain them. It had healed little cracks, rekindled warmth, and brought them back to each other in a way words alone never could. Every laugh, every dance, every shared secret had strengthened a bond that had quietly been waiting for moments like this to shine again. As they walked back to their car, the streets quiet and illuminated by the glow of street lights, Emily felt her heart full. She felt light, free, and connected, not just to Ryan, but to the world around her. The night had been a gentle reminder that love was alive, that joy could be found even in ordinary moments, and that taking a small risk, stepping out of routine, could lead to extraordinary experiences. Ryan looked at her with that familiar soft smile. "So, what did you think?" he asked, a playful glint in his eyes. Emily laughed, feeling a thrill at the memory of the night's surprises and shared adventures. "I loved it," she said simply. "More than I thought I could." He kissed her hand, his eyes warm and sincere. "That's all I wanted," he said. "For us to have fun, to laugh, to feel close again. And you did wonderfully." By the time they reached home, Emily felt a deep sense of peace. She realized that tonight would stay with her forever, not because it was perfect, but because it reminded her of the joy in connection, the beauty of shared laughter, and the quiet magic of love that persisted through everyday life. She and Ryan had stepped into something new, embraced the night fully, and rediscovered the spark that had always been there. As they settled into their room, Emily rested her head on Ryan's shoulder once more, feeling the steady warmth and rhythm of his presence. "I think this is a night I'll never forget," she whispered. Ryan kissed the top of her head, holding her close. "Neither will I," he said. "And it's only the beginning. There will be more nights like this, more laughter, more surprises, and more moments where we just remember us." Emily smiled, a soft tear slipping down her cheek, this time from pure happiness. The night had shown her that love wasn't just a feeling. It was a choice, a presence, a shared journey. It wasn't about grand gestures or perfect moments, but about stepping into life together, embracing surprises, and finding joy in the simplest of experiences. And with Ryan by her side, she knew that every ordinary day could hold extraordinary moments if they chose to see them, to live them, and to cherish them together. As she drifted off to sleep that night, Emily felt her heart full, her spirit light, and her love for Ryan deeper than ever. The night had been everything she didn't realize she needed: laughter, connection, rediscovery, and the quiet, profound reminder that their love could always grow, always spark, and always surprise them both. And she knew without a doubt that this was only the beginning of many more unforgettable nights together.